Okay, so how to get started in affiliate marketing running dating offers on push traffic. Once again, thank you so much for RedTrack and Zero Park for sponsoring this webinar. They made it possible by being nice enough and hooking everybody up with a special deal. So RedTrack is going to be giving a 2-for-1 special for people on the webinar to be able to get started, and Zero Park is going to be giving a top-up bonus, but they're going to tell you more about that a little bit. So in case you don't know, my name is Attila and I've been an affiliate marketer since 2008. I started with SEO, and I did SEO until 2012 when Panda and Hummingbird came. I decided that it's way too much work to basically struggle and never know what the heck is going to happen. And that's when I switched to paid traffic, and ever since switching to paid traffic I never looked back, because it gives you the control to be able to make money easy. Because what you can do is when you find a winner, you can then scale it by spending more money and taking what works and moving it to other traffic sources. And one of the best ways to get started in affiliate marketing is with low payout offers, and that is what this webinar is all about. Basically, I'm going to show you step by step from start to finish on how to run dating offers, which are SOI, meaning single opt-in, and DOI, double opt-in, on push traffic. Push traffic is very good because how it works is when people visit a website, they get a notification after they opted into the website to be able to send them a notification, and on their mobile phones they also get a message which looks like a text message basically that alerts them of the ad, and they have to click on it in order to view your page. It's not interruption marketing where they just randomly get redirected to another page when they're looking for another page. So it's actually pretty good quality, and it works really good for dating because a lot of the push sources seem to have a large male demographic, so that allows dating to work very well, especially if you will use pictures of attractive women, as you will see in this guide. So let's get started. All right. So the tools that you are going to need is you're going to need a tracker and you're going to need a traffic source. If you don't have either or, you cannot do this because there's a lot of variables that need to be tracked. Some of these variables are the creative ID, the zones, the different type of devices like computer, mobile phones, their operating system, and also what kind of also what time of day it worked. And there's a lot of different elements, and what we do is we look for something called golden nuggets. So we run ads on Zero Park, and then we collect the data on RedTrack, and RedTrack will break down this data into a lot of different segments, so you can spot the different pockets of profit. So that's what we're looking for. All right, so RedTrack, that tracker tool, is going to be giving 2 months for the price of one. Neil, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Zero Park is going to be giving everybody also an extra $50 when you deposit 300. But let me tell you, let's have Neil explain how that's going to work. So please,
Sure.
Neil,
go away. Yeah, the top up is for new users. You need to sign up to Zero Park, make your deposit for $300, and then you need to email support and put "I am Attila webinar" in the message as the message title, and we'll add $50 extra credit to your account.
All right, cool. So basically what you guys got to do, as Neil said, is when you sign up, you need to just reference the I am Attila webinar, and then you guys are going to get an extra $50 to play with on Zero Park. So for RedTrack, I'm just going to fill in the blank here. If you sign up, you're just going to get a 2-for-1. That means that you can save some money there. And RedTrack's already one of my favorite trackers because it's extremely cheap. So if you're just getting started and you don't have a lot of money, then RedTrack is really good because they give you awesome support and a really, really robust tracking tool, which is cloud-based. So you don't need any kind of hosting. You don't have to worry about knowing how to do like system administration. you don't have to worry about stuff crashing because they run it in the cloud, and they have really good system admins who monitor it and make sure that there's no data loss, and you don't have to worry about servers and stuff like that, which makes it extremely affordable and really good, reliable tracker. All right, moving on. So let's see. Part number one. So what we're going to be covering in this webinar is we're going to be talking about different things. So the first part when you want to run anything is to find some offer ideas. And I always, ever since actually I got started in paid ads, I've been using this website called offervault.com. And if we open it up, it's actually really cool. One sec, let me bring this here. So OfferVault, as you can see, has a lot of it has everything basically. Like there's like 55,194 offers are here, and they sort them by different kind of verticals and niches, so it's super useful. And you can sort by like payouts. So what you want to do is you basically, let's see here, these are the super high payout offers, but if you're getting started in affiliate marketing, it's not the way to go. Instead, what you want to do is you want to find like category and dating, like in this example, dating, right, and then payout. So we don't want, that's rev share. Oh man, why the heck do they have percent? Here we go, okay. Jeez, it's all percent, so many rev share deals. Okay, here we go, low payout. That's a really low payout. Generally speaking, when something is low payout, it means it's easier to convert than if it's high payout, and you can split test and get sufficient data to be able to tell if it's a good angle or a good creative that you're testing. That's why this webinar is about low payouts, so that people can learn how to get started with affiliate marketing who don't have a lot of money. Like if you run offers which pay like $50, $75, then typically you need at least $5,000 to be able to buy enough data so that you know which placements are going to be working and which ads are going to work, which angles are going to work. So you need to fail a lot to find the winners, and then you scale those. But anyway, moving on. So this is basically OfferVault. Feel free to check it out. It's 100% free, and then you can just browse around and get ideas on which CPA network has what kind of offer, and then you can reach out to them and usually get the link in like 24 hours so that you can start testing. So going back, so the first step is always to find an offer. Now the next step is talking to a CPA network to get ideas. Like after you made up your your decision, like for example that you want to promote dating offers, like I decided that I want to promote MILF offers, like older women offers, because in the past when I got into affiliate marketing it did really good, and I like that niche because I know exactly like what kind of creatives work for it. So what I do is when I reach out to a network is I ask for revenue reports, and I ask which offers are running out of cap, because these methods are tested and tried. Like if an offer is running out of cap, then what happens is there's other affiliates making money with that offer. If it's capping out, that's always a good sign. And another thing is if you ask for revenue reports, now unfortunately not all networks are going to give you revenue reports. Some will, some won't, it's like 50-50. But if you ask for revenue reports, you can see which offers are doing the most revenue on a network. And logic states that if something is doing a lot of revenue, it's making money. Otherwise, people wouldn't be, pushing so much traffic to it. And there's this misconception that you might read on many forums and here on YouTube, when people are talking, which basically says that get the network to give you the EPC report. And the problem with the EPC report is that there can be one guy that comes in with some kind of extremely special way of promoting an offer, and they can have crazy earnings per click. And it might not be true, or there might be, some guy sending search traffic for the brand, which is not allowed, which would screw up totally the EPC report. So I personally don't like EPC reports. Instead, I always go for the revenue report, or I just ask which ones cap out and give me a little cap, to test it. And that's basically the most important thing when talking to CPA networks, to get ideas. If you have any questions about any of the parts, by the way, please write in the question section, and we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar where I'll be able to answer all of your questions. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to now continue for the next part. So basically, for the next part is spying and getting all the creatives in order. So I spy using the Adplexity push and mobile. Like I'm looking for mobile redirect landing pages, and I'm looking for push ads to see how others are doing it. So as like when I found an offer, like let's say like I want to promote MILF dating offers, that I'm gonna go on Adplexity and I'm gonna like look and see how people are promoting these kind of offers on push. I'll take a note, of the different ads and the angles, and I'll write it down in Notepad, as you will see, because I'm going to do it live so everybody can see how it's done. And then after that, that's what I use as my inspiration to come up with my own angle variants and my own images and things like that. And another thing is so basically after you spy and you find some stuff, the next step is to get your landing pages made. Now, if you know how to code and how to edit stuff in Notepad or Dreamweaver, then you can do this yourself. If you don't have a lot of time, then you can outsource. And I own Banners and Landers, which I started in 2014. And we work with affiliate marketers basically and provide them services like ripping landing pages, cleaning them from malicious code, because they put a lot of, like click stealers and redirects and weird stuff into landers, so that if you steal a lander and don't clean it, they're gonna take your traffic. So you upload that lander and start running campaigns. That lander is gonna take the visitor and send it to someone else's offer page and link, and not yours. So you're gonna be losing money. So that's why it's important to clean it out. And the really, really good affiliates are extremely smart at hiding and obfuscating these click stealing scripts and other malicious scripts that do stuff in the back, to steal and get free traffic for them. So anyway, so either you do it yourself or you outsource. And if you want a one-stop shop, then Banners Landers can do it for 40 bucks usually, which is cheap and saves you a shit ton of time, because freelancers typically on Upwork, they have no idea uh, how affiliate marketing works. They don't know what you have to look for in a lander, and basically it's a pain to explain to them, and it takes a lot of time. But anyways, so the next step is getting the images edited in Photoshop. I'm going to show you that as well on this webinar. But basically what I like to do is when I find something that works, I'm going to take that image, maybe find a higher resolution, and then add some like different Photoshop effects to it, flip it around, to make it stand out a little bit more. And after I'm done creating the images and I'm done creating the landing pages, then I upload them to my central web server, which is the one that I'm going to be needing to set up my campaign. All right, moving on. So after I have all that stuff and the landing page has been uploaded on the host, then what I do is I go into my tracker, I go into RedTrack, and then I add the pre-lander links that I uploaded to the host, and I add the offers from the CPA network that I get. I make sure that I tag all the links that I get from CPA networks. But again, I'm going to show you exactly how this is done when I'm setting all of this stuff up. And then I create the campaign, and this tracking campaign is going to give me a link that I use on ZeroPark, so that when I send traffic, then everything will be monitored, like the creative ID, the placement, the source ID, the zone ID, what kind of phone they came from, what country, what city, region, IP address, ISP, and a shit ton of other important data that will allow us to basically break everything down and see and look for pockets of profit that we can scale. All right, so basically one more thing in regards to the tracker is after I set everything up, I want to go through it myself and make sure that the links work, and I'm going to show you all that too. All right, so setting up the push campaign. So after we have the tracking link and we have all the creative material, the next step is to go into the traffic source, so ZeroPark, and set up the push campaign, which I'm going to show you. And then, okay, so basically that's basically it. I'm going to show you soon everything because it's already 23 minutes past 7. So if you need one-on-one help with getting things going, then I recommend that you start a follow along inside the I Am Affiliate Premium forums, and I will be happy to help you one-on-one in the forum. Plus, I also have a lot of members who are actually really good at running campaigns, and they make thousands of dollars every month from affiliate marketing. Like, that's their full-time job, so they will be able to help you as well. All right, and after I finish everything, then we're gonna have a question and answer time. All right, let me just see if there's any questions so far. Wow, there's quite a lot. Okay. Someone's asking if we're going to be sharing the recording, and yes, we're going to be sharing the recording. And no, the forum is not free. The forum is $49.95 per month, which is extremely cheap for the amount of information and help you're going to be getting. So anyways, okay, so let me just go back here to make sure I don't jump around. Finding the offer. So what I did is I actually already have the offer, and I'm going to show you. All right. One moment, please. So here are the offer links. What I do is I always get 2 offer links from the CPA network, because I always want to test which one is going to do better. So this is the same site. This is a German dating site, and here is one of the landing pages, and here's another landing page. So this is adult dating on push that we're going to be doing. So you never know until you test on which one's going to do better. So basically that's for Germany that I got. And it's important that for these links that I got from my CPA network, that we add, where's Notepad? Damn you, Notepad. Okay, here. So here's the link. So what we want to do is we want to add sub ID2 equals click ID. This will be important for the tracker part, because we want to pass the click ID onto the network. This is how they know who's going to be converting. All right, so this is the offer that I'm going to be looking for. The next step that we're going to be doing is we are going to be, so I already taught, actually part 2, talk CPA network, get ideas. This is how I got these links. And now I'm going to be spying. So I start up at Plexity. Here we go. And I'm going to look in Germany. This is at Plexity push, by the way. We're looking in Germany. Where the heck is country? Here we go. Okay, Germany, like so. And then let's type in MILF. So here's some ads. Newest, running longest. So we're checking to see which ad was, so this one was looking good, was doing well. So what we want to do is we don't want to translate descriptions into English. We want to leave it in German. So this one is good. We're going to bookmark it like this. And this one looks good. We want to find some more like MILFs. This one is another good one, like this. This one's really good. So basically, this is what you're doing, is you're just spying and selecting a bunch of different ads, and then you want to open it and take the text. I don't know what this exactly says because I don't speak German, but I take a notepad like this, and then I write down. So angle 1, and then image. This is my image, so I save this image on desktop. Dating images, like this. Then I go back. Here's another one. So I save this image as well. Let's see something else that's interesting. So here I saved 3 images, and here's another angle. So I'm saving this and putting it into my angle 2, angle 3. We're just gonna do 3 images and 3 angles. This one, fun chat. All right. 1 second. All right, so this is basically what we did now. Just to recap, is we selected our offer. It's a MILF offer. We went on to Adplexity, the spy tool, and we just typed in the keyword MILF, and we checked to see what kind of ads are people running, and we sorted by running the longest. Running the longest usually is a good sign that it's doing well. And the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna try and find similar images than the one that are the winners, and we're gonna be using a Russian image search tool to do just that. So that's the next step. So just to open here, I have 3 angles, and if I look in my downloads folder, then I have 3 images. So the next step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Yandex images, and I'm gonna click this thing and search by image. So downloads, dating images. So I want this chick with big boobs. Here we go. So there's other angles, as you can see, of the same girl or similar images and stuff like maybe this one, whichever you think looks good or whatever, like you can try. Or this one, let's see. So we can take, here's the original image in higher resolution, we found it, but let's see, that's not exactly the same. Oh, that's not good, that's too small. 563. All right, so let's see this one. This is not bad. So we could copy image, and now we throw it into Photoshop. This is the part where we prepare the creatives, by the way. So we throw this into Photoshop, and then we crop out the image and stuff like that. Come on. Like this. Let me just adjustment layer, a little vibrance to make the image pop a little bit more. Something like this. All right, so here's our first image. Documents, downloads, dating images, 01. Oh, actually, resave. Higher resolution. There we go. Let's find some more images. We go back to trusty Yandex. We try another image. Select the file. This panty image or something similar. Let's do this one. Copy image. We paste it in. In 02. Let's look for one more. Based on the image that was doing well, that's what we're checking for. Select image, this hot chick here. All right, let's see something similar where she's lying on her back. More glamorous. Maybe this one. Oh, where did it go? Okay, actually this one. All right, so copy image and throw it into our image size like this. Save it. All right. So we have the offer pages. The next step is to set up RedTrack. And what we do is we log into RedTrack, and the first thing that we have to do is we have to add the offer links. So we create a new offer, and this one is going to be right here, MILF Sucher. or whatever that is. Meal searcher, I guess. Okay, payout is $6, and we have the click ID. We have to add the click ID like this. Meal switcher number 1. So we have 2. Remember, we're always split testing 2 of these. So that's one of them. And another one, we're gonna go offers. So here it is. We're gonna add one more. This is gonna be meal switcher number 2 network. There we go. We again, this is the important part. You always have to ask the CPA network that you work with, what is their sub ID token that they want you to use to send the click ID. In the case of this CPA network, they prefer on sub ID 2 for the click ID tag to be sent on. And the reason why this is important is because if you send it on the wrong one, on different platforms like Cake, what it can do is it can actually overwhelm their server and crash it, and that's why they have really strict requirements on which one you send the clicks on, as they are variables which come flooding in if you do a lot of volume. All right, so we added the 2 different offers, and now we're going to create the campaign. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to rip and clean that landing page because I'm not a coder, and that's no secret. That's why I have a team of programmers. So this part is going to be left out, but I'm quickly going to show you on what you have to do to add a pre-lander. So let's say that I was able to rip, for example, this landing page. What I would do is I would upload it to my FTP, and then I would get a link that looks something like this, like http datingsites.com/hotties, and then I would take this link and I would click on landers and new, and I would go like dating lander number 1, and I would put it in here and save. So when I create the campaign, what would happen is the campaign flow would be as follows. When someone clicks on the push ad on Zero Park, they would be taken to the landing page that I uploaded to the server, and after they click on the landing page, that's when they're taken to the offer page. And most of the time, not all the time, but probably like 60% of the time, using a landing page before the offer can actually increase your conversion rates. So that's why it's really good to use a dating landing page. However, there are some networks out there which have dating offers, which have these landing pages built in, which means you don't have to actually bother about ripping and cleaning and stuff like that. Instead, you can just get the offer link and ask them to give you, different offer links that have these landing pages integrated, so you can test a bunch of different landing pages, different offer page link pairs, and then see which one does the best. So moving on, the next step that we're going to do is create the campaign. So this is how we create it. So this is going to be our German dating campaign called MILF, and our traffic source. Oh yeah, we didn't add the traffic source. Okay, so let me just quickly add the traffic source here. Zero Park add. Luckily it's integrated, so it's really fast. And here's the dynamic variables that I was talking about. So there's like the target, the keyword, the traffic type, like the geo, visitor type, creative number, like target ID, all that stuff that you're gonna need to optimize. So here we go. Now we have that. Now we can create the campaign. All right. So here I select. This is gonna be Muse Germany campaign. Okay. Our traffic source is Zero Park. This is gonna be our agent like tracking domain that we're going to be using. We're going to be using meta refresh with hidden referrer so that the CPA network doesn't know which one is our landing page, where we're sending traffic from. We're not going to track that. We're not going to track the campaign cost. Fraud check, we're going to enable this. This is super important when you're doing, push and you're doing mobile traffic, because there's a lot of fraud out there. And with the help of this, you can actually filter out inside RedTrack which zones and which sources have fake traffic, so that you can easily block it right away without having to waste your money. So that's it. Now RedTrack actually has this lander page protect script. If you add this and someone comes to your lander page without going through the tracker, or they refresh it too many times, they're gonna be blocked by the RedTrack system. So that means that they're not gonna see actually your landers, which is really good if you wanna protect yourselves from spy tools and also from affiliates doing manual spying. Okay, so now this next section, how it usually works is, if we have the landing page, which we don't, because I didn't know how the heck to take out all those crazy codes from that script, from that page really fast, because I'm not a coder, then you would add it here. So you would select dating lander, and then you would select offer 1, and then click plus, and then offer 2. So this is how you would create a campaign that goes to your landing page first, and after that it goes to the offer page. But since we have 2, the distribution would be 50-50 between them. Like RedTrack would send half of the visitors to one landing page and half of the visitors to the other landing page. All right, so we would save this one. And after you press save, what happens is you're gonna get the magical click URL. Remember at the beginning of this webinar, I mentioned that when you set up a campaign in RedTrack, what is going to happen is you're going to get a special campaign URL that will allow you to track through all these different variables important stuff like the source, the creative ID, and many, many more things that will allow you to see where the potential pockets of profit are coming from. So here's our link. Now, the only thing that I need to do is I need to kill this because the dating lander is fictional right now. But so I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to save. And now the RedTrack link is good to use. So the thing that I'm going to do, that I wrote actually in the slide as well, is I have to test and see if it's redirecting properly. So I'm going to click and paste it like this. There we go. That's lander 1. If I paste the link again, it should go to lander 1 because it's caching. Let's see here. Again. But in reality, okay, there we go. It went to the other one. In reality, it's not going to do this for the same person. If someone comes, they're going to go to A. If another person comes, they're going to go to B. So that's how this works. It's automatically doing that. Now, if we go back to RedTrack, we can see that there was one click. And if you look at stats, then we can see lots of cool stuff like Windows 10, that's me, what kind of browser I use. And here's all the subs, and they're empty right now because I didn't come through RedTrack. If I come through RedTrack, then if I select like target ID, then I mean ZeroPark, sorry. If I was coming through ZeroPark, like I was actually someone that clicked on one of the ads that I'm running, then this would actually say where I clicked it, which zone. And if thousands of people come, then this is going to be populated with lots of different target IDs, and you will be able to tell, like each target ID does what kind of landing page CTR, like what's the conversion percent, how much revenue you generated, all kinds of different KPIs, which are very important so that you know exactly which target or which sources you want to run on and which you want to block. Also, this is how you view the fraud report as well. You will be able to break it down by target, and then you can quickly block it so that you don't waste your money. So going back to campaigns, now it's showing 4 clicks, and if we break it down, this is how you see which offer it went to. Like as you guys saw earlier, when I opened the link, it went 3 times to the first offer page and once to the second offer page. All right, so moving on. Now the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up a campaign on ZeroPark. And this is the final thing. Like when you're starting out, you have to go through this step. First step, again, you have to spy, you have to see what others are doing. And then based on what others are doing, you have to find your own variant. But you don't want to deviate too much from what's working already, because then it's just like starting from scratch. So if you see like a black-haired lady with big boobs doing super awesome, then find more black-haired ladies with big boobs that are doing awesome, and you're going to find success promoting the offer faster than if you go for blondes and redheads and all this other stuff. You can do that later, and it's a good idea, to test and things like that. But I always start with what's proven to work, and then after I dial in the campaign, then I start testing more wild ideas which are different from what was proven to work. And that's actually been my strategy for a long time, and it's paid off really good. So now we're going to be logging into actually to Zero Park, and let's see here. It's asking me to log in. Let me grab my user and my password. All right. So we run a lot of traffic on Zero Park. Right now we have $31,000 balance on this one. So let's create a new campaign. And we're going to be going for push because that's what we're doing. But they also have domains and pop and in-app native. Like there's a lot of different things to test, but I'm personally like a big fan of push because it's click traffic versus redirect or random pop and stuff like that. So push is really good, especially for dating. We're going to start with a run of network campaign first. And the reason why that's important is because when you don't have any data, then you cannot do target or you cannot do source. You need to have data. Like after you bought some data, let's say for $100 or $200, and you know which placements are doing good, that's when you come in here and you select target or source depending on what your tracker tells you. So since we don't have any data, we have two options actually. Option number one is to run a RON campaign, which is run of network. And then we're gonna get traffic from everything. Option number two is to talk to the guys from Zero Park and get something called a whitelist. And if you work with them and they see that you're serious, then these guys are the best. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go in and see, for example, if you wanna run dating, let's say in Germany, like in our case, then which placements are spending the most for dating offers. Like they know by vertical, because when you set up a campaign, you usually have to select, you know, like what vertical it is. So they can pull that from the system and they can give you right away a narrowed down list so that you don't have to go out and buy everything. Instead, you can just, let's say, start with 50 or 100 narrowed down sources, and then you can optimize from that. So that means that your money can go further. However, due to the nature of push advertising and how push works, there's a lot of new sources and placements that pop up all the time. So if you go by this method, then you might miss out on some brand new ones, which are going to make you potentially a lot of money just because it's new. So they haven't seen a lot of dating ads on that push source yet. So you can actually do well if you do run. So we're going to start out with run. So what we do is we do run of network. We're going to call this Germany run, and we're going to make this iOS only. I like to personally break down the campaigns into one iOS smartphone campaign, one Android smartphone campaign, and a desktop campaign. I don't really do, you know, tablet that much. I'm not really a fan of that. Never had much luck for dating and for these kind of low payout offers on tablets. No idea why. Anyway, so here we go. Germany CPC. We're gonna do classic push, and we're gonna do we're gonna do that classic push. Germany. We're gonna start get German. Yes. So we're gonna start with the suggested bid that they recommend. Daily budget, we're gonna do 20 bucks. Campaign budget, we're gonna do 10 times our daily, so $200. And our sources daily, if we don't do 20, then they're gonna give us an error, so whatever, leave it at unlimited. Okay, and this one, as I said, is gonna be iOS only. So under traffic filters, we're gonna be selecting mobile only. And the next thing is we're gonna be selecting, actually, why the heck can't we select that? There we go, we can actually. All right, good. So this one is gonna be iPhone, like this. Okay, next, we're gonna set it to 6 hours. I always set it to 6 hours when starting out, especially on a run. However, you can set to 24 hours if it doesn't spend your budget at the recommended bid. All right, so this is an adult offers. So we have to check here adult, basically under adult filtering. And now day partying, we're gonna leave that alone. So here we go. So we are going to be uploading our images here. And here they are. One that we made earlier in Photoshop, 2, 3. These are very similar, as you guys can see. These ones are the winners, and here, and these are ours. So they're very similar, but they're not the same. And this is just to be a little bit different. And now for the angles, we're gonna use the same text because that's okay. So, hello baby, is this one, and then question. Like this, fun chat. All right, so there we go. We have our 3 ads and 3 images. And now this is the place. The destination URL is basically the campaign link that we received from RedTrack. So I go back here, campaigns, and here it is. You see this one? I right click and click copy link address. And then I have, actually, why didn't it copy? Actually, clicking on it copies it. All right. So I paste it, and there we go. Your destination will contain SID, and CID is click ID, and that's what they need to be able to track. So as you can see, here's the target. This is super important. This will tell us which target is doing good. Keyword, if we're running some kind of keyword targeted thing. Traffic type is gonna fill push or whatever it is. And there's so many different like target URLs where it popped and all, like where it showed and all this other campaign, which campaign on Zero Park, which country, what kind of visitor it was, la la la. Creative, like here's a creative number, how much we paid, because it's gonna show inside RedTrack. Okay, and this is where we select dating, like this. This is how the Zero Park guys know, like which zones do well. Do we use pre-landers? Now we're not using pre-landers because I messed up when I was trying to clean that. It had too many scripts.
Attila,
yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but on the push traffic, we only have Android on standard classic push.
Oh, really?
If you want iOS, you've got to go on the in-page push.
On the in-page push, okay. Yeah. Sorry, yes. Okay, there we go. Thank you,
Sorry.
I missed check that one. Okay. So there you go. So now it's all good. Okay. Continuing on. So we create now our campaign. Campaign created successfully. We check our settings again. Remember at the beginning of this webinar, I said that you always have to, check your stuff, like to make sure it's good. So we have Germany. The country is Germany. Our bid is 2.3 cents. Daily budget, good. Dating, everything else, iPhone only. Sweet. Okay. So this is done. Now the next thing that we do is we want to take the same campaign and we want to duplicate it into Android and desktop. And this is how we do that. So we basically check it here and then we go copy campaign and we want to select MILF Germany, this one, and we want to copy everything and we want to do 2 copies and then click copy. Yes. So now we're duplicating it. But what we're doing here is, here they are. It's in draft mode, as you can see. So we want to edit this one and we want to update it, the name, and we want to update that. Edit campaign. This is going to be Android only. Everything else is good. Let's see here. Actually, show advanced. This is going to be Android phone. All right. I don't know. Neil, is the recommended bid for Germany the same for iOS, iPhone, and also for Android, or there's a difference like right now?
It should be a difference. It should calculate it as you set up the campaign.
Yeah, because you see it didn't update, and usually it does. If I refresh. Go. No, anyways, whatever. We're just gonna leave it as is.
It's probably because it's a duplicate.
Yeah, because it's a duplicate, right? Anyway, so what you guys can do in instances like this when you duplicate and doesn't automatically update is just hit up your rep at Zero Park and ask like, what is the suggested bid for Android, and then they will look it up in their system and tell you, and then you can fix this up, because I believe there's more Android phones, so this is probably like less than 2 cents, my guess. So whatever, for now just leave it as is, but you just hit up your rep and then just ask them, you know, what to put there. So that's how you do the campaign. So now we have the Android one, and now we have to basically, right here, Germany, iOS. Why didn't it save? Oh, pending. I didn't change the name of it. Well, I did change it. Oh, I refreshed, right? Okay, that's why I didn't update. Okay, now we go back to dashboard, and we have one more draft that we need to edit. And this will be our desktop campaign. Desktop again. Okay, desktop only, and then save. Okay. Neil, can you please get these approved for us so that we can see some traffic flowing in, so that we can see how the like the stats look?
Yeah, sure, I'll work on it.
All right, so Neil will get that approved. Usually it takes, you know, a couple hours to get it approved, but he'll just get this done really quick, and then we'll be able to see traffic come in, so that I can show you guys what it looks like when we click here, and then we look into the different things. Like we're gonna be seeing all, like instead of it, oh, there's already some you see coming, and that's basically what it looks like. Now let's just wait until it comes in. Like some live clicks. Neil, please let me know when it's approved, and then we can see traffic flowing in. Until then, why don't we answer some questions? Let me see. Okay, Vikram is asking, are nude images allowed for push? And the answer is yes, it is. But as I showed you, you have to basically, when you set up a campaign inside Zero Park, let me show you really quickly. When you set up a new campaign on push, then there's an option here to select adult filtering. So if you check this one, that means that the campaign that you're running is adult. And that's basically how you get adult images through, because they're going to be running on adult sites, 18 plus, so it's okay, 100%. And I personally like running adult because they get way better CTR and CR than non-adult, especially on push, because a lot of the sources are male oriented, like torrent sites and different kind of like VOD sites and adult sites and adult interest sites. So naturally, it's a really good fit to run adult, and that's how you do it. Okay. Arun is asking, apart from dating, what offers we can run on Zero Park? Please suggest. Well, if you use the spy tool, like if you go back to Adplexity, this is why you need a spy tool basically. If you go into Adplexity, then you can see right away, like if you select a country, like say Germany, here's all the different kind of offers. Like someone's running, as you can see, a Corona mask on push. Here's like a dating ad. Someone's running a game, casino, some kind of, no idea. Let's translate to English, and then it's easier to understand. Employment, like you see, like there's all kinds of stuff, and I don't know the answer, like exactly what you can run on push, but you can get a really good idea if you spy. Like personally, me and my team, we just stick to dating. We're running finance lead gen offers with Media 500, and that was doing really good on push last year. This year there's so much competition that it's not doing that good, honestly, but some people are still making it work. Another thing, casino does really good. These kind of sweepstakes probably does really good, although I don't run that on push right now. And yeah, if you spy, then you can see it. But if you just look, generally speaking, at the screen, that I have open, you can see that it's mostly dating. Like look at this, all dating, 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 dating. This one's a sweepstakes one, dating, dating, casino, 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 casino. I don't know what that is. This is also a sweepstakes. Make money, that's a financial. Lead gen, media 500 has those. This is a lead gen for new windows in the home. I don't know how successful that is, but as you can see, most of the stuff is casino, financial, lead gen like crypto stuff, and dating. That's what is proven to work. So you should start out there, not try something new, because you're just gonna basically lose money. Am I using the, okay, someone's asking, am I using the same campaign tracking link for 3 campaigns in Zero Park? And the answer is yes. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if you go into the campaign, okay, traffic started to come, but if you go into the campaign and you break it down, then you have campaign name and campaign ID. So you can go in here, and RedTrack has this really, really kick-ass feature where you can break down the campaign ID by all the other variables so that you can run all the traffic into one spot. And the reason why I like to do this is because then I can see the data more clearly. Like if I run all the campaigns in here, then I can see that, okay, on, for example, on this target, on Bravo SOS or whatever, the both iOS and both Android is doing well, so I can just run the same campaign there and just test new creatives every few days and just milk as much profit. So yes, that's why I run it to the same thing. Next question. Which affiliate network did you select for the offer? Well, the offer that I'm using is direct with advertiser. However, there's a lot of good dating networks out there, and I can't really make any suggestions. Like one of the ones that I like to use and I've worked with in the past is Top Offers. They're really good with dating, so you can check them out. But if you go to offerwall.com, then you can see, like you can search for dating and see a shit ton of different networks, and then pick based on the one that will accept you, because unfortunately not every network is going to accept everybody. And also another thing to do is to ask around, like on the I Am Affiliate Facebook group. Just say that, hey, I want to run dating, which network do you guys recommend? And then people are gonna reply and recommend. Next question, let's see. How to know if a campaign is winning? Well, basically, typically speaking, what you usually have to do is you have to spend like offer payout times 3 is my usual metric. So let's say that the offer is paying $6, then I'm gonna spend around $20 to test like a different kind of creative bundle. But the more you spend, the better. Like probably, like let's say that you're testing 3 different ads and the offer pays $6, then 18 times, like spend around, I guess, $60, like $20 per creative, especially when running Ron, to be able to get enough traffic. You really have to but actually, the truth is you feel it out. Usually winning campaigns show promise right away, and losing campaigns, no matter how much money, excuse me, you throw at them, they're not gonna work. So it's enough, to, for example, spend $20 to test one creative. So if you have 3 in a bundle, then $60, and then you'll know, okay, are there any conversions? If yes, let's go, get some more data. If not, then that's it, move on, pause it, and try something else. All right, looking for the next question. How does push work on up install campaigns? That's a good question. I never tried it. Truth is that I used to run up install campaigns in 2014 and 2013, back in the Clean Master and the DU Speed Booster and P-Safe and all these kick-ass offers that were global and they were playing very good. Back then, you were able to run them on Google, and it was like printing money all day. No cloaking, kick-ass GDN ads and stuff like that at the 320 by 50 format, but I never tried up installs on push. But it might be worth it, especially if, for example, this is just an idea from the top of my head. Casino does good on push, so if you have a social casino app, you might want to try it on push, because if it's free to download, free to play, it could work. Who knows? Gotta test and see. Can you run ED on Zero Park? Neil, can they run erectile dysfunction ads on Zero Park?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Okay, so yes, you can. Let me just.
Obviously, it's the same rules as for any adult campaign. So basically, the cleaner you make the blender and the cleaner you make the image, the more you can get away with, you get more
Okay,
traffic.
cool. So you guys heard that you can run ED on Zero Park as long as the ad is compliant. Be sure to hit up your Zero Park rep and just show them the ad and be like, is this okay? And they'll tell you. Now, the next question, what's the ideal offer payout for start? Well, honestly, there's no real answer to that one. Like less than $10 for sure, especially if you're doing push, and you don't have a lot of money that you want to burn. When I started paid ads, I was doing app installs, and the payout was like 50 cents, and it allowed me to get a lot of data really fast and optimized. So the lower the payout, the better, but typically as long as it's under 10 bucks, then it should do well. Most dating offers are around like $5 to $9 range, which work good for us. So that's the answer for that one. What is a good ROI in push? Well, it depends on the scale, right? Like if you're doing a huge scale, then you're gonna give up profit margins. If you're running small spend, then you can do huge profit margins. But if you're scaling up, spending thousands per day, then your margin is gonna get smaller. Since there's a lot of competition, I'd say like 50% profit margin is very good on push these days. Like years ago when we started doing push, we were doing couple 100% ROI, but that's gone now. Like like things change really fast. Go over the points that you called at the beginning. I'm gonna make the recording available. You'll be able to see that. How many leads do you run before asking for a payout bump? Now that's an interesting question. My problem with payout bumps is that networks have this special thing where they can actually set any kind of payout that you want. For me, the conversion percent is important, like what kind of CR I get. Because if you ask a network like, hey, I want, like $2 more or whatever, they're gonna be like, oh, no problem, and then in the background they're gonna set it that it's gonna shave so that it balances out to whatever they're already paying you. So the trick is here to always just look at the CR and see how it impacts. Like if the CR is good, then don't ask for a pay bump. Instead, split test other offers and see if you can beat the CR, or maybe try different kind of multivariate tests on your landing page and things of that nature. I usually don't like to ask for increases because that always opens up the possibility that they're gonna do something shady in the background. All right, next question. Can we run online pharmacy on Zero Park like generic Viagra? I have no idea, Neil. Can we? Or can they? Neil? Okay, I don't know.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, that's borderline. You'd have to actually show us the product so we could test it with
All right,
compliance.
all
Because
right.
obviously it's more about our publishers, so we need to keep them happy. So we also have to check every ad that comes in. So if you want to send us some examples of that, the support at Zero Park, we're happy to check it out.
All right, next question is from Darko. He's asking, related to crypto, did you ever do a crypto campaign directly for FTDs or just lead gen crypto? Well, we basically do lead gen only. We don't do FTDs, especially not on push, but it really depends, right? Like what the offer is about and who your target market is, and it's worth testing. But the lead gen is what we do. We do all kinds of lead gen, like a lot of lead gen in the US, but unfortunately right now lead gen's kind of hurting because of the COVID-19 situation. But yeah, definitely give lead gen crypto a try on push, because that works really well, especially if you find killer zones, and Media 500 has some really good offers to try. Someone is asking, can we also run Shopify store with COD like ad combo? You can, and I actually tested it and I got some sales, but the problem is that there is so much sources and placements that you would have to spend a shit ton of money to be able to get enough data so that you can see which sources are worth advertising on in the long run. If you just get one sale from one source, it's not enough data to say that that's a good source, that you should focus on that source. So that's why I don't think for ecom and higher ticket items, it's a good idea to test push, especially if you're a beginner and just starting out, because it will be a lot of money, lost by the time you get sufficient data so you can tell which placements are good. How would you start a German push campaign if you have low budget per month? Well, I would, what I would try to do is I would, the $20 per day is the minimum you can do. But what I would do is I would try and play with low bids and see what I can get, like I would just play with the bids and hope for the best. I honestly always work with a couple $1,000 budgets. When I started out, even then, I saved up $5,000, and that's how I got into paid advertising from SEO. So I recommend that you probably, if you don't have a lot of money, to do some kind of freelancing and save up so that you have a deep pool to play with. Because when you find something that has potential, you need money to be able to scale it, to make up all the losses up until that point. Ruben is asking, for beginners with zero knowledge, but a lot of time and some money to start, do you have any course? Unfortunately, I don't have any course, but I have step-by-step guides on how to do all of this on IamAttila.com, which are free. All you have to do is you have to take action. I mean, this is gonna make the difference between not making any money and making money. There's no course that's gonna do the work for you. That's why I don't sell a course. Your best bet is to actually take the money that you would spend on a course and get your feet wet, lose it, see what happens, see how the traffic source works and all this other stuff, because that's the best way to learn. Like, guru's gonna tell you all kinds of bullshit that if you buy my course, then you're gonna make money. No, you're not gonna make money. The only way you're gonna make money is if you actually do and take action. So that's why take the money that you would spend on a course and load it up on Zero Park, get some landers, get RedTracks, launch some campaigns, see how things behave, see what happens if you exclude placements, see what happens if you do targeted placements, only test different ads on those placements, and that's how you're gonna get into the green. All right, next question. Wendy is asking, what is the name of that website? Which website are you asking about? Can we have a crypto webinar? No, because I am not doing crypto right now. So I always like to always talk about stuff that we're running. How is Zero Park dealing with fraud traffic? Neil, here's a question for you.
Yeah, so we actually work with our advertisers to block anything that is considered fraud. So we actually ask advertisers for the IDs and the time ranges and what kind of behavior the traffic had, what made it suspicious. We send it to compliance, and if we agree with you, we block the target and refund the traffic.
Oh, good. Okay. So that's another reason why you guys want to enable the fraud filter inside RedTrack, because when you, as Neil said, when you guys see something that is fraud traffic, then you can report it. And if they see it, they're going to refund that ad spend right to you, and they're going to kick that publisher off. So it's really good. Here's a good question from Carlos. He's asking, do you usually prefer tier 1 countries or better to go with others? the truth is, when you're running at scale, and we do run at scale, is what you want to do is you want to diversify, because there's this rule of statistics, that if you're standing on multiple feet, you're going to be more stable. So I usually like to mix in Latin America, Asian countries, some South Africa in there, and Kenya. Those do really good usually. And then my favorite European countries, like in Europe, Germany, France, and the Nordic countries, they usually do awesome. So what we do is we balance everything out, and then we look at the stats based on an average for the day, because it's never going to be stable. And another thing with push traffic that I forgot to mention is that the burnout is super fast. So what you need to do is you need to constantly, like every 2-3 days, replace the creatives with similar creatives, so that when the ads show, then people are like, oh, I saw that already, I don't want that. Instead, they're going like, oh, what's this, and click it. So that's why it's important to always have fresh creatives. And yeah, so, and also to diversify, not just do tier 1, but do tier 1, 2, 3, and then stand on multiple legs. Okay, someone's saying that I want to get into natives. John is saying that. Is it better to start with push and then proceed to native? My budget is $4,000 to $5,000. Well, native is going to eat you alive. Like, native is extremely expensive, and it's totally different ball game. So if you're experienced and you ran campaigns in the past, the native is okay, because you already know, what you have to do, how you have to test, and things like that. But if you haven't ran lots of campaigns, then push is better uh, to play with, and low payout offers are going to get you more data faster. So I would start with push if you haven't ran a lot of traffic in the past. Native is a totally different ball game. It's totally different conversation. You have to do a whole lot of things on native differently that a lot of people don't even want to invest in, because it requires so much extra work, that definitely I think push is a great starting ground for people with not that much experience. Learn copywriting or learn unique angles? Josh is asking. Which of the two would you recommend first? Well, I think copywriting and angles are the same thing, because in order to write good angles, what you have to do is you have to think creatively. Like, you have to think about, okay, here is an offer. What kind of problem does it solve? Like, who would want this offer? And then what can I say to these people so that they're gonna convert and do what I need so that I get paid for the conversion? So that's why copywriting and angle writing goes hand in hand. I actually have a company called anglesaurus.com, which writes angles for different offers, and we have like a bundle deal, like 10 angles for $100. And the reason why I have that is because I have copywriters on my team who write angles, and we constantly test new stuff. And I also know that a lot of affiliate marketers are not creative. They just want the damn angles so they can launch and make money. So that's why we have that service too. But yeah, copywriting is angle writing basically. Next question. What do you, oh, this is actually a good question. Like, actually, Neil can probably chime in on this one, but Marcus is asking, what do we think about the future if push is going to be banned by Chrome and Firefox?
Yeah, so we've actually come across this before. Chrome always threatens to ban stuff. So they threaten to ban pop, they threaten to ban push. What they usually do is, because most of these, like Chrome and also have their own kind of traffic and stuff like that. So usually the restrictions they put on, they start off sounding very harsh, but if you read the language of the article, they're usually not that bad. So actually, so we went through it a couple of years ago, like in 2018 with pop, where they said they were going to ban pop traffic, but pop traffic still exists. It's usually just the format changes slightly, to be honest with you.
Okay, so the good thing, as Neil said, is there's always going to be a workaround to make sure they don't ban this, because a lot of people benefit from it. And there's actually good uses. For example, on I Am Attila, I use push, and there's a lot of subscribers, and they get notified when there's a new useful article, and they love it. So those people don't think it's spam, and that's why it's important to always refresh the creatives, because then you're gonna get a really good quality traffic out of it. When you have the data available, how do you filter the good placements? So when we have enough data, actually, let's see if we got any data in here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, I can actually go in here. I'll pause this right now because I don't have time to babysit it, but we got some clicks. So now we can see. Let me just show you guys. So this is what live data looks like. You see, so here is target ID. This one got, this Juliet PAP gave us the most clicks. Let's see, traffic type. It's all 199 from push. Campaign, these campaigns sent us the clicks. This country code, they came from Germany. Visitor type, non-adult. Interesting. We got adult traffic from non-adult. Which creative? Creative number one did best. That one got approved. The other ones didn't get approved yet. Anyway, and then we can see device type. Computer 87 people, tablet 67. Oh yeah, because I messed up. Pressures on me. Device brand, Apple, Lenovo, Samsung. So you can see a ton of stuff. Which city did they come from? Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Dresden, Munich. So there's a vast of information here, and the beauty is that if the more info that you have, the better you can see. Like you can actually break it down, like which campaign, which creative, which target ID, and get super creative, and then that's how you make campaigns. So to answer your question, Adriana, what we have to do when you have a lot of data available is you take the winning placements, the winning targets, and you make a new campaign on Zero Park, and you move them all in there, and you block it in your run of network campaign, and that way you can test new creatives and have your winners in one producing you profit, whereas your run campaign is getting you new ideas that can potentially be added to your winning placements. What's the worst thing that can happen with push traffic? Now, I don't really understand the question, but the worst thing that can happen is you set everything up, you run the traffic, and you get zero conversions. Like nothing worse can happen than that. When our lead starts getting scrapped at the back end, with increasing payout, who is culprit, the advertiser network? Okay, when the network or the advertiser starts scrubbing, that means because it's not backing out for them. So that means you have to adjust your angles, because there's a way to lie and promise things which will never happen. This will cause a lot of people to sign up and things like that. But when it comes time for the advertiser who's paying you for those conversions, tries to make money from those leads, they're not gonna make him any money. So they're gonna be like, these are shit leads, we don't want any, block that affiliate and things like that. That's why you always have to do something called lead quality check and talk to your CPA network manager and ask like, hey, what does the advertiser think of my leads? Is it all good? And if the feedback is good, then you can continue in that direction. If the feedback is bad, they say, oh, it's not backing out, then you have to adjust your own angles to make sure that people that fill out the offer know what they're in store for and what's expected of them down the line, so that everybody's gonna be happy. All right, one last question, then we're done, guys. Let's see. Josh is asking, what's the easiest way to reach me personally? All right, guys, so if you want help from me, the easiest way is to join I Am Affiliate Forum. It's $49 per month, and then there you start a follow along, and then I'm gonna help you with my other friends who are also, we have almost 800 members right now. And yeah, so that's the easiest way. And you can ask questions. You can also see a shit ton of other guys. Like there's so many case studies. Like I just did one on how we got featured in Yahoo News, for example, like step by step, exactly what we had to do. So that's also very useful if you want to get featured in Yahoo News, basically. So there's a lot of good info, and I recommend that you guys join for sure. Arun's asking if there's any other spy tool apart from Adplexity. There are other spy tools, of course. There is one called Push Spy or Spy Push, but I personally like Adplexity the best because of their interface, and they have a lot of servers, so they pick up a lot of stuff. But the thing with spy tools is that the more spy tools you have access to, the more information you'll be able to see. Because how spy tools work is they have these little listening robots out there, and they catch ads here and there, and in random spots, and they cannot catch everything. So that's why I use, for example, multiple spy tools like Adplexity for push, and there's also another called Push Spy or Spy Push. I don't know, I don't use that much that well, but that often, but I did try it in the past. But the thing is, after you get some experience running a vertical and you specialize in a vertical, you're going to know what kind of ads you have to do. And at that point, you won't even have to spy because you already know. So you just continue with that formula. But when you're new, you do need spy tools just so that you know how to get started, what is working in the vertical and stuff like that. But if you've been running something for a long time, then you know, and you just stick to a formula and it works. All right, one more question, that's it. Let's see. Ruben is asking if he can start with my forum instead of STM because it's cheaper. It's up to you, but of course you can. You're gonna get the same kind of level of support. On I Am Affiliate, I'm gonna help you personally. All right, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. This was really fun, and it was the first webinar that I did where I actually showed you how to set everything up. Usually I write, guides on IamAttila.com, which I post for free, and there I show you with screenshots how to do stuff. This was something new for me. That's why we ran into issues, but that's how we learn, and I hope you enjoyed it a lot. And I look forward to actually seeing you guys on I Am Affiliate. And please remember to take advantage of the special for RedTrack. So reach out to them and tell them that you were on the I Am Affiliate webinar with me, Attila, and also to Zero Park, and just mention that, and then they're gonna give you extra $50 over there if you deposit 300. And I hope you guys are able to make some good money. And I also encourage you to try other offers. Just use the spy tool. There's actually a really good discount for Adplexity that I can give you guys. It's 30% off the regular price. And all you have to do is just go to adplexity.com/IamAttila, and that's it. And then you'll be able to save 30%, which is like $60 per month. So it's quite a lot. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much, guys.